And welcome back to another episode of PopCulturePOV.com. I am RandomlyRJ Jr. And today we're going to celebrate Janet Jackson. Miss Jackson, we are going to give her flowers and talk about our favorite music videos. It definitely sounds like an impossible task because where do you start? She has given so much to her artistry, so I wanted to get together with some dear friends and break it down. Celebrating Janet Jackson, giving her flowers, and of course, the entire thing is brought to you by patreon.com/randomlyrj Jr. Let's get into it now. Joining me today, Lauren, how you doing?
Hey there. I'm so excited to be here to talk about the Queen, Janet.
Exactly. Joining us for the first time, we've got Marcy, who is not only a singer, but we have been to a Janet Jackson concert amongst many other nights that we've cut it up and had such a great time. Welcome, Marcy, to the show.
Thank you so much.
Are you girls ready to talk about Janet Jackson? She's worthy of it, of course.
Yep, sorry, my cat is acting crazy as usual. Hello, people.
All right, green screen and all. If you check out the episode, popculturepov.com is for the visual. If you want to hear it on Audible, it'll be not Audible, but like Apple Podcast, Spotify, and all the stuff. It'll be popculturepointofview.com. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm so nervous, you guys.
Stop being nervous. You're making me nervous.
Well, let me tell you.
Janet, like, you want to do her justice?
Yes, let me tell you, with all the recordings I do, I'm like, oh my gosh, this one has to be the right thing. Although it's going to be opinion and point of view, we're going to do our own version of like a March Madness where we go around and basically choose 3 music videos. We've got a couple alternates and wild cards, but 3 music videos that basically indicate our favorite ones. So Lauren, you're going to start. None of us have shared our choices. So if somebody picks your choice, you got to come with another one. So Lauren, 3-1, I assume you're going to go from last to first. Pick your favorite Janet Jackson music videos, starting with you right now.
Right now. Why do I have to go first? Okay. First, the one that popped in my head like immediately and that I think about all the time is Pleasure Principle. And I mean, I was like 2 years old when the video came out, but for some reason, the fashion and the dance, like it just, for me, is like quintessential Janet. So love it. That's my number 1 pick.
It's a great choice. Marcy, what do you think of that song? Music video wise, what did it do for you when it came out? How do you remember that video?
Wait, which video did you say? That's awful.
Oh,
yes. Okay. Loved it. I mean, it was like Janet in that was when we first got the glimpse of like bigger Janet a little bit, and she was rocking it. She still had them great stick to you jeans on.
I know your skinny ass did just call her bigger Janet. How could you?
I mean, she was bigger Janet then.
But the hair, it's all about the hair in that one, right?
The hair was laid, them jeans and her booty, like
that was like the woman Janet. She's like, I'm a woman, okay?
Yeah, this was a good one.
Showcased her dancing like single by herself.
The lofted style music video, all she needed was dancing by herself, a chair, and just like this whole vibe. Rocking the Guess jeans, because at this moment Guess jeans were really serious business.
Yes.
She had the knee pads. I believe the director was Dominic Senna on this one. To me, the opening line of "You may think I'm crazy, but I'm serious. It's better that you know now," to me is like, that could be like a Real Housewives tagline. It's so good. Definitely starting off the aspect of being a music video icon, but like the fact that she always will start introducing us to dance breaks, and it was very early at this time. So yeah, Lauren, that's a great pick. You know, that was my number 1 pick, or my first pick rather. So
was it really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, that's why you know so much about it, because you agree. So
well, she did everything in that video. At the time, you had other girls like Jodie Watley was doing a bunch of, she had her lofted style music video. Lisa was doing her thing. The ladies of the 80s were magic. So it really was a moment where she had to continuously, she had already, been through the young love moment, but she had to continuously, solidify herself as her own identity outside of Michael and then the Jacksons and even Lil Penny. So
right, exactly. Even playing Little Penny. Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
She did a great job at it. Like I said, it's one of those that we both agree. It's just like, yes, Janet.
Yeah, everything. Knee pads she had the wristband, the Adidas wristband. I mean, it really was simple, the denim jacket, but it was style too. So not an easy thing to do, to be so simple yet so stylish. And I believe all the girls of the time really were like, you know, also kind of looking that way as well. Marcy, what will be one of your first picks for a great Janet video?
My first pick would be Skinny Janet. We're back.
Wow.
If was like the best video. I watched it like a bazillion times. I was in middle school, and I'm aging myself, but middle school went back to like 9th grade back then. It was like 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. I think I was like a 9th grader. And I did the dance in our little 9th grade talent show. And, like the dance breakdown. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite videos. It still is to this day. I mean, I loved her hair. I loved her style in that as well. I loved her abs.
Do you dance as well?
I'm sorry, what?
You dance well as well, or do you just sing?
I'm a singer who moves well. So
Okay.
if I watch it enough times and I do it enough times, I will get there. I would not call myself a dancer, but I can move well.
Do you find inspiration in that video where you're like, wow, I'm kind of moving like Janet?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I made every effort to copy her in every way. Me and my dance partner, we dressed up in the same little outfits. We got our hair done the same way. Like, yeah, I was total copycat.
You two are hurting me because that was not only a choice of mine, which I knew this was going to happen. I knew this format was going to be difficult. This format is literally nobody knows what's the other person's going to say. That was not only a choice of mine, Marcy. That was my drop the mic. Nothing is better than Janet Jackson. If for so many reasons. First. I should have went first.
You're so nice to have not gone first.
I have to respect the queens that I'm with here today. That video to me spoke in so many ways.
Hair.
The big flowing red hair, the
everything.
The way they opened up the music video, it's a version of a members only club. It's a sensual side of Janet, the Janet album. We had not seen a lot of that prior. Sure, we saw the music video dance breaks. Sure, MTV could not wait to get a music video moment or speaking about Janet Jackson in length. They did that a lot. What they didn't do up until the Janet album was see a sensual side. And when those doors opened up and the fabric and the big hair, I mean, it was, to this day, I remember, people now, they don't realize how much of a moment things used to be. Now it's YouTube, video on demand, TikTok, whenever I want to see it. At the time, MTV had, MTV had their making the band or making the music video rather, Bill Bellamy on set. And it really was a convergence of everything that I loved. It was a bit of an awakening, if you will, as well. I'm a teenager.
If I didn't know that I was gay,
I
knew when I saw that video. I was like, "Oh my God, that's my woman!"
Like, what are these feelings? What are these?
Marcy,
I was just like, "Oh my God!"
Come on, family. Yeah, she's there with the kids, and it's a moment. I remember the music video in the behind the scenes. Bill Bellamy's talking to everybody, or it might have just been more of a documentary style, but they were talking to the one dancer, and they're like, "Oh, what do you think about the video?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't mind having my head slapped around by Janet." And to me, I was awoke for many reasons. I was like, "Oh, okay, those are some abs right there." Now I think I want to have a pair of abs, until I recalled, as what Marcy's saying, where you're like, "Oh no, this is something different." But on a serious note, on a non-sensual side note, it really was when I told myself, "Hey, it's a matter of this might be my favorite music video ever." You know what I mean? Like, it's that deep. It also was the Lauren has Janet Jackson is emerging through way of cat today.
Oh my gosh.
Black cat. It's okay. It's a live episode. What it was it brought all my worlds together. The awakening, what Marcy's talking about, the having to go watch MTV and knowing that if you were going to watch it, it was right there, right then. And also I think too was, my whole life I wanted to be a broadcaster, radio, all these things. And when I saw that not only the behind the scenes to see how they make a music video, but to see how Bill Bellamy had so much fun. Granted, that was his job, and he is a really funny comedian to this day. But I was like, this could be a job. Like, to me, there was no greater awakening on all levels than that song. You have the Diana Ross Supremes, Someday We'll Be Together, like, the sampling.
Sample, yeah.
As far as music that I grew up on, classic. So it was just like, whoa, as an 80s baby, I always sided with young Janet, Young Love, and we talked about Pleasure Principle, all the earlier stuff, Control, Let's Wait a While. But this is as I'm a teenager, girls. I'm a teenager. So I'm also growing with that sensual side as well. So If, to me, was one of the greatest. I'm checking my notes. I believe this was directed also by Dominic Sena as well.
I love that you mentioned that about, because I feel you with anything that MTV had with a host or anything like that going behind the scenes kind of awakened something in me too. And now that I'm thinking back of that behind the music or behind the video moment, yeah, it was one of those moments in my life where it's like, hey, I want to do this. Like, no, I don't want to be Janet, but I would love to be interviewing Janet, or I'd love to be a part of this in some kind of way.
No, I think I wanted to be Janet.
Yeah, I didn't want to be Janet. I wanted to be like the person interviewing Janet, or like, what are you doing? Why are you so amazing?
Yeah. And it
I
is
just wanted to hang out.
Just hang out.
Yeah.
Just wanted to hang out.
A set visit seemed like magic. You wanted to be there. You wanted to have that rapport that she had with her dancers. The dance break, iconic, still happens to this day. And to me, it's one of the most timeless music videos. So you two took my first two choices or choices of mine. So I'll swap out. I'm going to go with something more current, Made for Now with Daddy Yankee. Still in the, in the recent times. For one, I'm familiar with a lot of the locations. I believe they ended up there's one shot where they're overlooking the city in Greenpoint at the waterfront right there behind Surratt Studio. So I'm familiar with it. One of my best friends, that they have an office there. So knowing that the music video was being shot in the neighborhoods that I was living in Bushwick at the time, and being around it, and also being like, wow, this music video will basically indicate that she's not going anywhere. Don't get out of here with your like, oh, Janet was for the 80s or for the 90s. Like, she's always going to be. And the song too, Made for Now, a lot of songs usually have to do with love or lust or breaking up. Made for Now was really just about, you are here right now. Let's make your dreams happen. Let's make your life happen. So to me, it was a big motivation. I'll skip through that as my first music video because you two took other really great ones, which was the point of the episode here. And that'll be my first choice. Lauren, sending you to your second choice. But Made for Now, visually stunning.
I was going to say, like, I had to look it up to kind of get a memory of what it was, and the colors, it was so beautiful. So, and she showed us like, I'm here to stay.
The costume designers deserve all the awards, set design, just absolutely beautiful, and a great song that doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah. For me, a second one, I'm going to have to go with That's the Way Love Goes. Because I just love it. I love, it kind of reminded me of like, you have like those vibed out house parties, right? And everybody's just chilling and everybody's just enjoying themselves. And it was such a diverse group of people. You had J-Lo in the video. I think Justin Timberlake was in the video. Like, well,
they did a remake. Yeah.
Well, the NSYNC did do a remake. But I just really, it's just one of those vibe out songs I can listen to any time of day. I can watch the video any time of day. So, and I love her hair in that for some reason, like the curly, natural vibe she gives. So I'd say.
Would you venture to say you could watch that music video anytime, any place?
I see what you did there.
G-ball.
That was good.
What are your thoughts on that music video? Was that one of your picks, Marcy?
It was one of my picks.
Aww.
Again, I mean, I don't know that Janet had too many videos where I wasn't completely fangirling and crushing out, like wanting her to be my girlfriend secretly.
Yes.
But I like the song. Like, she probably could have done anything in that video and I would have been happy because the song is such a vibe. It's just like, you're just chilling. It's it's a vibe. It's like that song you put in the background of hanging with like your favorite people, you know, like,
100%.
So yeah.
I know it's redundant, but I speak about the awakening. It's just the fact that like you're no, not in a bad way this time, but you're becoming a little more grown up. You know, you're a teenager. This is as far as my age. I was born in the 80s, or in 1980 actually. So I'm a teenager, and all I could see with this music video is looking to what you would hope is a future. You're like, you're still, when you're a teenager, you're still kind of locked into how you're raised, you know. And I was raised in such a blue collar town. The only damn thing we ever talked about was the sports. I don't want to talk about the sports ever. You see what I'm saying? So it was always to me a nod of like what else is out there. And yes, you know, it's something that's done a lot now, but sadly it wasn't back then. The assemblage of people, you know, we could use the word diversity or variety or whatever, but it was not exactly. She did it seamlessly and it felt comfortable. The opening banter, la 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 la. I'll play this video when I'm going to play the video. Okay, I'm ready to play I'm ready to play the song.
Yeah, the opening banter, right? It just keeps going.
Yeah, pumpa boo pumpa. Like it was so. Tish, don't look into the camera. Like all of these moments. J-Lo so even getting into her bag, talking about, oh, now she wants everybody to hear it. Oh my gosh, I can listen to that and I could go back to being 13 years old and knowing there's something else out there that you want to connect with. Not to mention the song is so great. You know, it's grown up, it's sensual. Yeah.
It's a vibe. And then even the beginning, like it almost feels like, I mean, the beginning of the song, almost like a spoken word moment there too. It's just, I don't know. I'd like a moth to the flame, all that. It's just, it's so good. So good.
Yeah. And one thing is interesting too, Janet to me speaks in so many ways. You know, she's the one artist I've seen in my teens, in my 20s, in my 30s. Marcy and I were at the State of the World concert together. That was amazing. And I would like to see her now that I've just hit over 40. I would like to see her in my 40s as well. That music video, as a music video, is wonderful, but the way that plays and the way that rings off at a concert, the song sonically, That's the Way Love Goes is absolutely incredible. And I'm glad you chose it, Lauren. I really do like. What'd you think about the fashion? Do you have any notes for the fashion, the style that they brought to the table?
I mean, it was just like classic 90s style, right? Like everybody kind of had their own little 90s vibe going on. And like I said, it felt like just a vibe out type of kickback to me. So, you know.
Kickback. That's a really good description. It was totally a kickback. Yeah.
Yeah.
Marcy, what's your second choice?
My second choice is, what did I put? Love Will Never Do Without You.
Oh, goodness.
That's a good one.
Because she's just cute Janet in that, but she's just so laid back. She's in jeans and like a little crop top situation and hanging on the beach with her dude and like running around in these scenes, just being carefree. And that's my favorite Janet, is like watching her enjoy what she's doing. Makes me like really enjoy what she's doing.
It's so funny how simple she could be in music videos and that still work. We alluded to Pleasure Principle being such a simple video, and yet everything else is so big, you know, and it still works. So both sides work, you know. She uses her artistry in that way. You could have an elaborate thing like a Rhythm Nation, but you could also have her literally on the beach just getting her life, and you're there with her, you know.
Not a lot of artists can do that. So.
Yeah. That's a great choice.
Not a lot of artists today can do that at all.
Especially today.
Especially today.
If we start shading what's going on now, we won't. This episode's going to go longer. So, yeah, it's a terrible in comparison. So a choice for me would be, my second choice is, I'm going to do something that I really, really like, you two. There was the remix with Heavy D, but Janet Jackson, All Right, which I believe was released 90. The musical style, you know, I believe it was like the more like the 40s era coming out of the 30s era. You have Cab Calloway, you have the Nicholas Brothers, you have Sid Charisse. I mean, it just is so good, both sonically and the element that you are given. I was also
that video reminds me of like something Michael would have done too, right? like Smooth Criminal-ish.
Yeah.
Like when you mentioned like the Nicholas brothers, and it was almost like you can tell she kind of took from her brother a little bit.
It was sweet though. It was like almost tribute-ish.
Yeah, and that's when you hear Janet talk about videos, it's always like, where does that pull from? Or it even becomes an element of growing up and redefining stuff she already did. She did When I Think About You, When I Think of You, right? Was that the one? Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, she did the music video When I Think of You, and it's also very much like outdoors and street party kind of vibe. So just a fantastic music video. They were suited down. I mean, it was very, very good, and I could listen to it all the time, and all the references were great. So that's my second choice.
You are such like a true fan, because I can tell you put so much thought into each of these choices, and yes.
Like 1,000%. Mine always stem from like how she looks.
That's okay.
No.
Girl crush right here.
Hey, I was wondering, Marcy, do you have a crush on Janet? Yeah. I think you do.
Yeah. Still, always.
Funny, because you guys kind of favor each other. I don't know. You look too much like
thank you.
Well, when we were at the concert, at the Hollywood Bowl, State of the World, Marcy did have her Janet look together, her very poetic justice vibe. So yeah, she'll give it
poetic justice. I had like the little white like bandana braids.
I love it.
Shirt and jeans. Yep. I'm totally a fangirl.
My third choice, I don't know if this actually counts because it's a duet, but of course, Scream, Janet and Michael, they are my favorites. The Jackson family is just, genius, phenomenal. And Scream is one of those videos where it was so groundbreaking, right? Like you've never really seen anything quite like it, even to this day. And I just remember like standing in front of the TV with my cousin Brandon and trying to memorize every single, move and everything. And so, yeah, Scream.
Well, I think it definitely counts. $7 million music video budget says it does count. I mean, that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
$7 million won 11 MTV Music Awards. Like it's just one of those that I'll never forget. It's an amazing video.
Also, my third choice.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're gonna have to dig in the crates, Marcy. It is tough when somebody chooses your choice. Am I right? It's like, what do you do?
Man,
Ronnie,
the video is amazing. They both look amazing, and it was amazing to see them finally together, like dancing on screen, doing something together, and singing together, and they sound the same almost. It's like, oh, it was everything.
Yeah.
I do love her makeup, everything was so
the anime type of vibe, like that, like Asian influence, like so good.
Maybe I'll dress up as that this Halloween.
Ooh,
I need a Michael Jackson though.
I'll be your Michael.
yes, Lauren.
Oh man, yeah, that of course is such a great, I mean, all the awards, like you said, that it won as well. And even the simplicity, it's a black and white music video, but it could have been in color, if that budget is what it is. I mean, it just, the choices that were made were to give you a timeless piece of work. And now sadly that he's not around, just to have that,
It'll be an infamy. I mean, I remember Janet saying in an interview that they had a choice to do it in color, and they showed her what it looked like in color, and she's like, yeah, it's beautiful, but we can totally keep it in black and white. And I'm glad that they did.
Me too. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
So good. So good. Marcy, what would be another pick? I know your picks have been stolen.
Okay. Right. So I'm just gonna go completely off script. There was never a video for this, but the first time I heard this song on the album, but the first time I paid attention to this song was when she put out the tour video for Janet. No wait, Velvet Rope. She put out that Velvet Rope tour video.
Are you gonna say,
remember that?
Is it Throb or something?
No, but that's beautiful too. And again, fangirl, like I'm all about it. No, it was the song is called Special. And the reason I liked it is because at the end she talks and she says, like on the album and also in the video, I wrote it down. You have to learn to water your spiritual garden. That was the first time I even thought about what does that mean to me? What is spirituality? What is spirituality in music? And I think about that regularly now. Like anytime I'm like going through something, I'm like, ooh, my spiritual garden is dying.
Wow.
Like I need to water it. So I picked that because I saw that first on that video of the Velvet Rope tour. So
that's awesome.
That is such a worthwhile pick. That works. Her visuals of any sort, if they could affect you that way. You've talked about it being, seeing her visually was something that got you. What about it because you are a singer, Marcy is a singer. Where was the same moments hitting at the same time where you also were kind of like, oh my gosh, I feel like because I see what she's doing, maybe I can do that as well. When did that occur for you?
I think Janet was like a pivotal part of my career as a singer because I don't sound traditionally super Black. Like I'm not soulful. I'm very much more so pop. And when Janet came out singing her songs and she was more pop leaning, I was like, oh my God, okay, there's another Black girl who's like me. Yay.
Right.
And, it was easy for me to pick up her music and her songs and emulate things that she was doing. And in doing that, it helped me find like my own way in music and how I wanted to be like on stage. I wanted to command the stage. I didn't want to come out there and be like all meek and kneel and like I wanted to come out and people be like, oh damn, who's that? Like I wanted to be like Janet in that way, like just powerful woman who's very talented. And so for sure she was an inspiration to me.
Janet, for so many reasons, deserves her roses, and that's why we're doing this. There's so many things out there where it's talking about Janet and Justin Timberlake. It's like, I don't want to. This is not the time for that. Like, there's not enough time.
I'm still mad at Justin. Just so
and we'll leave that for another thing because here's my thing. I always think about an artist. I want moments where we could just celebrate the artistry, where the foolery could just be in another space, and that's what this really was. There's plenty of times. But today, I was like, let me get together with some of my dearest friends. We talk about like songs that just mean so much and memories and what they did for us. That is special, Marcy. That's very special. I guess I have to come up with my last one. And then if you girls have time, we're going to do a question. We've already talked about it on the email, but if we have time. So my last one, okay? So since you chose my final, like I said, drop the mic was If. Still to this day, I arguably get in conversations about how I think that's one of the greatest music videos ever made. So since that was taken in the early rounds, I'm gonna go on a journey. I so closely for this last pick was gonna pick Let's Wait a While. Though we're gonna have
in my head. Oh, that's a good one. Sorry, that's like an honorable mention, I guess, right?
Oh
yeah, for sure.
This is where I'm starting. I say, okay, Marcy chose a song, so I can't go that one. Lauren chose, and that's great. That's why we're doing this. So I'm on my way trying to pick my last song. Is it Let's Wait a While? I love Let's Wait a While. I grew up in Southern California, but as I've told both of you and probably everybody, I've always wanted to be like that New York City person, and I've spent 7 years there, living in both Harlem and Bushwick and Ridgewood and Weehawken, New Jersey, everywhere. And I think it's these early moments of seeing these music videos and seeing just the simplicity of the city and the fact that they made that a message where you didn't have to, and I can't ever speak to this because I am a male, but what it's like for women to be able to have that permission to say, no, this is not what we're doing. If you love me, you're going to love me. And I should probably stop talking because I don't want to overstep, but I felt that even though it's not my story, like it was valuable.
Right. But you can see how it would resonate. Obviously, you have a sister. I mean, I definitely felt that way. Knowing that song really did, in a way, always kind of play in the back of my head. Like, hey, it might be too late if you don't wait. Let's just wait a while.
I think too, like, how cool is it to like make a song that is empowering for women, but also keeps them safe and is fun and sexy still. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Marcy, you said it. That's exactly what it is. She still gave an element of I still have all of this quality. The music video was still very grown, very mature, very adult, very romantic, possibly some first base action. It just gave so much. It didn't knock you and make you feel put off in any way for him or for her. I may have had a harder time saying let's wait a while had it been me in the music video with him, but that is a different story for a different day. So Janet, I don't know how you did it. But it just was so incredible. And so that's where I was going to choose. I was going to choose that video because it's something I could listen to all the time. But then I said, I'm grown, okay? I am grown up and I am going to choose anytime, any place, because in this world, we have all the wherewithal to say, I do what I want. And if I don't want to, you're not going to pressure me into a situation. But I also have the nerve and the gall to decide how I represent my sexuality, and okay, I won't even talk anymore. What do you think of that song and the music video, you two? It just was so wonderful to me.
So good.
What I immediately thought.
What'd you say?
What'd you say?
I just said he teased it earlier, but I love it. Go ahead.
Oh, and when you said that, I immediately thought, oh my God, I've given so many lap dances to that song. Like literally, like in public, not in public.
That
like,
beat when the beat hits, it's like the perfect, like, yes, of course. I get it.
I want a talent show giving a lap dance to that song.
I just think it's so cool when artists have such a like a, what do you call it? Like not a Rolodex, but so many songs that we can literally tell stories of our lives throughout from middle school to now. And I think that that's so amazing. And we have these days, I mean, I don't know, I hope that artists can do that as well, but I'm so lucky to be the ages that we are, where we can have people like Janet, where we can say like, I remember giving a lap dance and winning, but I also remember like, I'm learning about my spirituality because of her. Like, I just thank you, Janet, for everything because of, and that's a great choice, Ronnie. Great choice.
It's everything. It's, I keep mentioning it's the grown-up nature because again, all of these songs were coming as, I'm 12 years old and then this one, If, is on. And then a couple years later, I'm 16 years old and then this music video is on. So it always was a bit of a catalog to my own growing up and my own adolescence and my own things that were being burgeoning up inside as far as what I want out of the world.
And who you may want.
And it just was, I keep saying mature, it was sexy. It was, you were like, oh my gosh, I want to live in that building. I even thought the unit in which she lived was just decorated, just so warm and so peaceful. And even in the moment where she has that pretty sundress and it's so simple. And, at that time when the music video happened, I will say I was a little younger, so not as many experiences, but as you grow and you have your anytime, any place,
moment,
you have them and you just, I guess you always feel like your little Janet Jackson vibe because of that soundtrack. And if I don't say If is one of my favorite music videos Janet's ever done, along with Pleasure Principle and All Right, I definitely tell the world that Anytime, Any Place was so great. And it nowadays, if you do that, it becomes a viral moment. And I think there's just a little, it's very pushing the envelope. That didn't feel like pushing the envelope. It was, of the time people weren't into it, but it felt more natural with her storyline, her life storyline, around the time doing Poetic Justice. That was a more grown up situation. She's not Lil Penny anymore, so.
I think as a woman too, it's just like, you can be sexy and powerful and sweet and in control, like, and that's like all of the things that Janet. Yeah, she.
Why don't anybody say control?
I know. I just thought about that black outfit with the same big booty. Like, yes.
And the hair, and it was on my list. I didn't. Get
and the
it.
hair, her hair was laid in that one for sure. Yeah. I don't know. I love Janet.
I will say, if we have time here, yes, we got about 10 minutes left. If you two were hired individually as a creative director or producer for a music video of hers, regardless of song, what type of a music video treatment would you give? Obviously, you would have to know what song it is, but let's just, suspend disbelief and tell me what you would do if you were producing a Janet video. Marcy, I'll start with you.
I would make her a cartoon character and build like the world around her, in whatever the song was about. But yeah, I think cartoon Janet would be like awesome.
Yeah.
And I could like reintroduce her. I mean, I don't have kids, but I have like tons of nieces and nephews, and I work with youth. I could reintroduce her to like a whole nother generation that way. Like, it'd be fun.
Yeah.
I like it. Lauren, do you have a visual that you would try to bring to the table?
You know what? I would want to do something similar to what Michael did, right? Where there were these films, right? I would love to just create from start to finish a story, like with an arc and everything, where Janet is playing a character. I know she's an amazing dancer, but if it were to be today, she's a little bit older, she's a mom, like I'd kind of want to pull the actress out of her, which we've seen her act and she's amazing in that sense. So let's bring the acting and the singing together and make a film, 5-minute film.
Yeah, it's obviously hard without knowing what the song is.
Exactly.
But this is just a fun little assignment for us. For me, without knowing what the song is, I also would like it to have some cinematic energy. And I think I would like to do something, you know, when I watch Music Soul Child's music video, and even thinking about Alan Jackson has a song called Remember When. I love these songs that travel you through the youth to, you know, to when you're old and gray, you know, the elderly moments, and how you have this love thing and it's so special, so beautiful. I think I would want to do a music video, sort of like the TV show This Is Us, that kind of takes her on a journey where we see that really, you think the music video at the core of it is about, you know, the love of her life, which it is to a degree. This man is in her life, and they're, you know, in their 80s, and they're just living wonderfully. But in that, it's going to be some contextual moments where she's chatting with her daughter about what life is and the choices she made, and the let's wait a while moments, and the anytime, any place moments that, you know, say, you know, make your choices wisely and no regrets. So something that really, I guess, a Janet Jackson This Is Us kind of vibe would work for me.
I love it.
That's actually cute. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cute.
Who would play young Janet? I don't know, but that could be
Tiana Taylor.
Okay, well,
totally. Wait, that's teenage Janet.
That's teenage Janet. Little Janet. Marseille Martin. No, she's still teenage.
Annie.
Oh, that would be cute.
I'm not at all. I'm old.
You can play.
I'm older than Ronnie.
Oh, yeah, we're getting up there, but we still look good and we still have fun. You two, I will say that this was one of the hardest episodes, as I was saying earlier on. You know, I was telling you two that I got nervous about this, and it wasn't because I don't know what I'm doing as far as broadcasting and having fun with an episode in a podcast space, but it's like, what gives us the permission to say this music video is the best? But it was really just about 3 diehard Janet Jackson fans just shooting the shit about why these music videos mean so much. And honestly, we could have went 9,000 other places.
Yes.
And I almost feel like we could have done a full episode on each music video if we really wanted to break it down. Yeah. We could talk about her high budget videos, her lower budget videos. Nothing was lower budget with Janet, but you see what I'm saying? Like the simple videos. And I just felt like this was a time that I wanted to give her roses and celebrate. Ending the episode, because it is time for us to roll. We'll do many more popculturepov.coms or popculturepointofview.com. You know, you could check it out audibly or through YouTube as well. We'll do many more episodes together. This episode was brought to you by our good friend Fallon, who has a product line called Fitrition, fitrition.com. I know Lauren is such a supporter as well. And
yes,
so,
I use Fitrition. It is amazing. So all of her products are wonderful.
Yeah, so that's exciting. Last thing for you two, looking at the camera, if you had a message for Janet, Lauren, what would you say?
Ooh.
That was a sprung.
Yeah, I would just say thank you, Janet, for being a part of my life, my entire life, even though you have no idea who I am, but you have helped raise me in so many ways with your artistry. So thank you.
Yeah, I would completely give so much gratitude. to Miss Janet. And I would tell her to continue to stay unbreakable. Woo! I made this shirt to go to one of her concerts.
Oh, I love it.
I know. And I'm like, I'm so motivated right now, like to just be creative after talking about Miss Janet and how wonderful you are. And I can't wait to see what you do next, because I know you're not done.
I felt the same way going through the music videos, doing a bit of research on what my choices were going to be. It kind of opened me up to so many young memories for sure. But then saying, like, what are we in this world if we don't tap into the way we express ourselves? So she gets to do it because she is an artist. But why are we going to work 9 to 5? Team no sleep, all never not working. Why are we doing all that? Which is, of course, what you have to do, but not expressing ourselves ever. We're not spending enough time doing it. And when I was watching tons of interviews, and she always talks about why she chose to do what she did in each music video, it's like, we're not doing that as people, and we should be doing that. We should be saying, why am I dressed like this? Or why am I watching this television show? What is it doing for me? If you get the privilege to do a music video, you have to ask those questions, and then you get to tap into something so special. So I would tell Janet, thank you for being around in a time where, most of the journey was more so, be a little leaguer and care about the Los Angeles Dodgers, which I don't care. And kind of being in a space where that was the only world that was opened up for me. That was what you were told to do. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this woman, Janet Jackson, comes through, and even being, Michael's sister, and kind of creating her own lane and showcasing so much to this kid that's watching MTV was so special. So I would say, Janet, thank you for doing that. Thank you for trying new things. Thank you for even, I will say, failing on occasions, because you were always aiming to succeed. I love that about an artist. So you get your flowers. You deserve it, Janet, and we're going to celebrate. So cheers, you two.
Cheers to Janet.
Yeah.
I have a...
And we'll end this episode. Marcy, give us that quote again from the song Special, and that'll be the end of the episode.
Oh, okay. You have to learn to water your spiritual garden. Yeah.
Yes.
Bye, ladies. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.